Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen, and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that includes testing new palette and new makeup releases. And today, I'm really excited. Lunar Beauty, one of my all-time favorite indie brands, has released their final 2023 release for holiday, for really the rest of the year until we move into 2024. And it is the Siren Sunset collection. First of all, the packaging, 10 out of 10, as always with Lunar Beauty. Like I said, this is their final release for 2023. So I, of course, had to pick up the palette and one of the liquid lipsticks. Now, there were 3 liquid lipsticks released in this collection. I chose to just pick up one of them. Like I said, I love Lunar Beauty, one of my favorite indie brands. And this palette is very different from what he's put out in the past. So I'm excited to share it with you, do an eye look, try out the liquid lip, and give you my first impressions of the Siren Sunset palette. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. Don't forget to check out the description box down below where I will link Lunar Beauty. I use someone's discount code. I'll put all that information down below for you as well. You can actually save 10% on this collection. You can buy the pieces individually or bundled together. All of my favorite beauty subscription boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today if you wanted to recreate this look. And don't forget, come follow me over on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. So let's talk about the Siren Sunset collection. Then I'll zoom you in and we'll create an eye look. So like I said, the collection contains 1 eyeshadow palette and 3 liquid lipsticks. Let's first talk about the eyeshadow palette. Like I said, as always, the packaging is amazing. There's always the moon on it, which signifies Lunar Beauty. This one is raised on the palette. We have this beautiful siren mermaid sitting on a rock. And then when we flip the palette over, she's jumping into the water. Just the touches of the packaging alone are spectacular. As always, Manny does an amazing job with packaging. There is a mirror in the palette, and really what we have here is a neutral color story with some pops of color. Manny loves his neutrals. Now, I don't discriminate against makeup, but I'm very much a color lover at heart. But I do think this palette is perfectly curated for the neutral lover and the color lover, or the neutral lover who just likes a little pop of color. Maybe on the lower lash line, you can utilize the greens, the blues, the purples for that. Now, there are some duochromes and multichromes in this palette. So this palette actually retails for $55, which is a little bit more than Manny's other palettes because he incorporated multichromes and duochromes. Now, everything's swatched beautifully as expected from Lunar Beauty, and I'm really excited to try this out. Now, I'm 100% using some of these greens and purples and blues. We're gonna do a colorful look. Now, like I said, there is so many neutral options as well, so whatever your preference is, but I've gotta try these multichromes out. This is a new formula for Lunar Beauty to put out multichromes, so we're gonna test them out and compare them to some of my other favorite indie brands. And then I picked up the liquid lipstick in the shade Sailor. Like I said, he had 3 liquid lipsticks that he released in this collection. This is just a cool toned nude, and I love it. I love the packaging of this, and I really like this color. So I didn't swatch this because we're gonna actually apply it to the lips and test it out after we do the eye look. So let me go ahead and zoom you in. Let's prep my eyes and get started on today's look. I didn't forget to mention there was a postcard in the package. Isn't that beautiful? Manny and those girls look absolutely beautiful. And then on the back, it does show the collection. So there are the 3 liquid lipstick colors. There is the shade Sailor, Pink Moon, and Abyss. Now, Abyss is a really pretty, kind of like my shirt, just like a raisiny deep dark color. And then Pink Pearl is the traditional pink. And like I said, I went ahead and picked up Sailor. So the first thing I'm going to do, as always, is prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. Now, I always use an eyeshadow primer. Keeps my makeup in place, prevents it from creasing, and the MAC Paint Pot is my favorite. So my eyes are primed and ready for shadow. And like I always say, this is the hardest part, deciding what colors I want to go with. Now, there are a lot of light and mid-tone mattes, but most of those are neutrals. A lot of our deeper, darker mattes are the colorful shades. So we have this dark purple, this dark blue, this dark green, even a dark brown. But most of our transition shades, our lighter shades, are neutrals. And I really wanted to focus on the color. Manny does amazing with neutrals. I want to see how he does with more of these deep, dark, colorful shades, as well as those multi-chromes. So I think I'm going to start with the shade Ariel, which is this really, really beautiful kind of teal green matte. Like I said, everything's swatched really nicely. Picking that up on a fluffy brush, I'm going to focus that on the inner portion of my crease. So I'm going to stop about halfway so that I can add another color so we can test out even more shades on the outer half of my crease. So I am putting that into my crease and then popping that a little bit above. I do have hooded eyes, so I want to make sure that when my eyes are open, I can still see the shade Ariel. Wow, that is so beautiful. It is just this siren teal color. It's absolutely beautiful. It's applying really nicely. It's blending out really nice, but it's not blending away. So we're still getting the pigmentation and the payoff of the shadow, which I love. So again, just popping that into my crease, above my crease, about halfway over. Now using a fluffy brush again, I'm going to pick up the shade Dead Sea, which is this deep, dark navy. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan, so tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to focus that on the outer portion of my lid. And then I'm going to just kind of pull that over to add a little bit of depth. Look at all that payoff. That is crazy. That was one tap into the shadow and I barely tapped in. Knowing that this is a deep shade, I was trying to avoid as much fallout as possible. And wow, that is beautiful. That is pigmented. It is a cobalt navy. Cobalt navy blue is the best way that I can describe it. It's deep and dark like a navy, but it has that jewel tone of a cobalt blue. It's absolutely beautiful. Now with a little bit smaller fluffy brush, I'm picking up the purple shade called Seductress, and I'm going to pick up just a tiny bit of that and tap it off. And I'm going to just use that to diffuse and blend the edges, and that's going to add just a little pop of purple because I do also want, I think I want to use this shade on my lower lash line. I love this so far. It is very oceany, siren-y, and I'm here for it. As always, using my NYX glitter glue, I'm going to tap that on my lid. Again, just like my eyeshadow primer, I always use the NYX glitter glue. It just, again, helps keep my shadows in place, really brings out the true opacity in the pigment. And for me, being almost 48 and having those fine lines and wrinkles, it really helps prevent the shimmers from creasing. 100,000,000% Temptress. This is the multi-chrome in the palette, or one of them. Look at that. She is gorgeous. She's soft. She's buttery. I'm going to apply that to the outer portion of my lid. Oh yeah. Oh my, that is stunning. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I see that shift from blue to purple. This is absolutely incredible. So there is the multi-chrome in the palette called Temptress. You know, I like to pick up shimmers with a brush as well. I like to apply with my finger and a brush so I can show you different application. I really want to bring in more purple. So using the shade Siren, which is another one you can see the shift, another multi-chrome in the palette, I'm going to pick that up on a brush, and that's going to go on the inner portion of my lid. And then I'm going to pull that over into the shade Temptress. That is so pretty. It is purple in the pan, but when I'm putting it on my lid, I mean, I'm getting purple, but it shifts to blue. So it pairs really beautifully with Temptress. Now on a flat, dense brush, I'm picking up the shade Sea Witch, which is another duochrome, multi-chrome shadow. Looks like it flips from pink to maybe a green. And I'm going to pop that right in the center. Oh yeah. That is stunning. And that's going to just brighten up the center of the look a little bit, add in a little bit more purpley pink. Okay, that shade. Wow, I am impressed. I mean, I expect shimmers to be really good from Lunar Beauty because they always are, and they're those nice wet foiled shimmers, but he nailed these multi-chromes and duochromes. They're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to go into the deep dark green called Mermaid. It is like a forest green. I think that's going to be a nice addition to the look to pull a little bit away from the blues, the purples, the pink, and pop in some green. So I'm going to buff that on my lower lash line. And I'm going to stay really close to my lash line. That's really pretty. I do like that pop of just a nice deep dark green. And then back into that shimmer shade Sea Witch, the one we popped right in the middle, the one that leans pink and green. I'm going to buff that right on top of Mermaid on the lower lash line. Now those two shades together, I love that. I love the green with the pink over the top. Now for the inner corner highlight, we have two options. We have this shade Water Nymph, which is a duochrome that shifts from white to green. And then we have Pink Pearl, which shifts from pink to white. So either one of those would be really beautiful brow bone highlights, inner corner highlights. Which one do I want to use? Let me look here. I think I want to bring a little more pink in to go nicely with the Sea Witch shade. So I'm going to use Pink Pearl, picking that up on a flat, dense brush. I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. Oh yes. That's beautiful. That's really pretty. It's definitely more pink leaning than white, which is exactly what I wanted, you know, to tie in the pink a little bit more. It even has a bit of a lavendery undertone. I really like that. Let me go ahead and do liner, mascara, and I'll be back and we'll test out the liquid lipstick. Now let's test out the lippy. This is in the shade Sailor. I love Lunar Beauty's liquid lipstick formula. It dries down like a liquid lipstick, but it's not Sahara Desert dry. I'm actually comfortable wearing this liquid lipstick on its own, where normally I feel like I have to put a gloss over the top. It's really a nice formula. It smells like vanilla cake. It smells really good. Ooh. This is pretty. It's a cool tone nude. I can taste the vanilla flavor or the vanilla smell. It's so good. This is really beautiful. I really like this. It is a cool toned nude mauve brown. It's really hard to explain, but I really like it. It's a liquid lipstick color that I don't have in my collection, and thinking about it even more, pairing it with the neutral shades in this palette, like this row here and even these right here, this lipstick would look amazing. I mean, it looks really nice with the colorful look as well, but I really like this. It's dried down, it's comfortable. It feels really nice on the lips, which I very much appreciate. So let me go ahead and finish getting ready for the day, and I'll be back to share with you my thoughts on Siren Sunset collection from Lunar Beauty. All right, I did my hair, added some earrings, and let's go over my first impression thoughts on the Lunar Beauty Siren Sunset collection. So first, let's go ahead and start with the palette. Like I said, the packaging, 10 out of 10. I do like the color story. My only complaint, and it's not even really a complaint, but if I got to choose or make a wish, I wish that there were more light and mid-toned colorful mattes. So like I said, our lightest colors are the purple and the teal when it comes to colorful shades, and neither one of those really is light enough for a transition shade. You kind of are stuck using the neutrals, and I didn't want to use any beiges or browns. So that is one thing I wish, is that there was a little bit lighter colorful matte. As far as the shimmers go, I feel like there's a good variety. We have neutrals, we have colorful. Actually, this shimmer shade right here, this neutral one, Siren Song, swatched beautifully. I'm excited to create a neutral look with this palette. And I do like that it's versatile, colorful, neutral. This would be a great travel palette. I think Manny nailed the duochromes and the multi-chromes. I think this palette is worth every penny of $55, especially because there are so many beautiful multi-chromes and duochromes in the palette. Everything performed beautifully. I love my eye look. It is a siren. She's a mermaid, she's a siren, and I love everything about it. I think the palette is incredible, and I'm really happy that I picked it up. I hope he continues to put out more multi-chromes and duochromes in the future. And then as far as the liquid lipstick goes, I knew I would love the formula because I love Lunar Beauty's liquid lipstick formula. I love their lip oils. I have a lot of their lip products, and I actually really like this color. It is unique to my collection. I love that he went cool toned, that he went a cool toned mauve brownie nude, and I think it looks really nice with the colorful look. And like I said, I think it would be stunning with a neutral look. Love it. Absolutely love it. I may in the future pick up the other two shades because the one, a Bish shade, would actually match my shirt pretty well. And I do like the pink pearl shade as well. I just wanted something a little bit different to my lip collection, and this one, Sailor, is perfection. But overall, the palette and the liquid lipstick, love them. Highly recommend if you love the color story, if you love Lunar Beauty, if you want to support small business, indie brand, this would be a great collection to pick up. So highly, highly recommend. Again, I'll link it down below with a discount, same discount that I used when I purchased my pop products, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing in today's video if you wanted to recreate my look, my favorite beauty boxes, and come follow me on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. Way to go, Lunar Beauty. Love the Siren Sunset collection.